Can we go, what's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E. You just ruined my intro. God. Someday is Cole. No, I don't want to.
Do it backwards.
All right. I can't do it backwards. I do not have that sort of anything today. But what's going on, fuckers? I'm the one, the only, the W-O-O-K-I-E. Joined here by that weird kid in your calculus class, Dexter.
Hello, everybody.
And that kid who's still better than you, Cole Robbie.
See, that intro was even better, so it was a good thing I interrupted you.
I don't know what that means, but okay. We'll go with yes.
It was just better, so you're welcome.
You're welcome. All of you out there in Radio Land, you're welcome. But
would we be on AM or FM radio?
I don't know. Probably FM. Well, FM radio is normally
which.
Well, FM radio. Jesus Christ! Do you know what a radio is, Dexter?
I know what a radio is. I have listened to both AM and FM radio in the past, but I don't really know which one is used for which. I just know that they're different frequencies.
So, typically AM is talk radio, right? You'll find your NPRs and your sports shows and stuff like that would be on AM radio. FM radio normally plays music.
Okay.
Except in the mornings, they have morning shows typically. So they'll have people in the morning that will talk and shit. My favorite in my area.
Those morning people talking about shit.
We could be the morning people talking about. I mean, we are shock jockish, right? At least I am. I have been called the shock jock of Keyforge.
A little bit.
No, there's no little bit. Literally, one of the people have told me I'm the shock jock of Keyforge. And I accept at that point. Actually, their words were, "You are the Howard Stern of Keyforge." And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take that as a compliment, right? That guy is rolling in money. I think. I don't know. He's on America's Got Talent, right? Howard Stern seems to be doing okay for himself. So you know what? I'm going to take it as a compliment. Well, we'd probably be on AM radio since we're more of the talk show type deal. Right?
Can we take over for Coast to Coast whenever that guy retires?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Sure. Not the one I meant, but sure.
Well, because there's a few Coast to Coast. There's that one Coast to Coast dude who does the paranormal stuff. Right?
Yeah,
He's a Coast to Coast. And then there was, who is it, Casey Kasem? Hi, I'm Casey Kasem. Number 4 on our tracks this week. I don't know. What's a song that's out right now? Come on, Dexter. This is you. This is where you shine. Yeah, what's a new song?
I don't keep track of new songs.
You don't keep track of old shit. You don't keep track.
Imagine Dragons.
You don't keep track of new stuff. You don't keep track of old stuff. What do you keep track of?
Nope. Nothing.
I say we play "I Am a Rifle" by Propagandhi, and that is the theme for today.
Is that our theme for today? Well, we got hell of a show for you today, if you're all listening. We are doing the question-sode, as it has been dubbed. I guess we're doing a Q&A episode, because we've run out of things to talk about in Altered. That's it. Yeah, show's over, guys.
We also just have a lot of questions.
Oh, are we backed up? Is that why we're doing it?
You're not supposed to give away the true secret.
Oh, yeah. Every time we just don't have things to talk about, we just do an AMA. That's what all the good content creators do. And I guess we're backed up on questions right now. So this is where we gotta kind of catch up.
A ton on the last Patreon post, so I was like, you know what? Let's just answer a bunch of questions. And the secret is, I couldn't think of a better episode to do, so it works in both.
You know what? We're all being a little lazy this week. I feel it, right? I feel it right here. I do. Because I was like, man, I don't even know what do we got going on, because I was actually poking around for altered stuff. What are we gonna do this week? There ain't a lot going on, right? You got a couple big tournaments happening, right? What's the acronym for this set?
WFM.
Whispers from the Maze, WFM.
WFM.
I do not say WFM. I just say
WFM.
WFM. But yeah,
W-
we're in the weird period where technically a new set just launched. The other idea I had to talk about was the meta of the set now. And then I realized I'm the only one that plays Altered consistently, so that probably wouldn't have been as good of an episode.
You're probably the only one playing the meta.
and yeah, I never play meta, so
Even worse. I'm sorry. My wife's gone for the weekend, and she left me these little delicious mini donuts, so I'm going to be eating them. Just so y'all know.
Okay.
So if you hear me eating, it's mini donuts.
While you're eating that, by Felix's estimation, if we take 5 minutes for every question, we'll be at like an hour and 40 minutes.
Felix is adorable, thinking it's only going to be 5 minutes per question.
To be fair,
some of them will be like 2 minutes, some of them will be 10.
Yeah. So the first question comes from Felix. What cards were staples to you guys from Beyond the Gates that are no longer considered staples to you now?
Ooh.
I would say definitely a Sneezer Shroom.
Waru.
From Muna. And then, well, that hasn't been a staple.
Waru. Bullshit!
Cards that were staples before the set came back. And then I would say Ozma.
That's not true. It says what cards were staples
I would
to you
probably
guys?
run Ozma in my Siggy. From Beyond the Gates. Like, in this current meta, before WFM.
Waru was in Beyond the Gates. What cards were staples in Beyond the Gates that aren't
that no longer are now? And Waru was a staple. If you wanted to win, you were playing Waru. I mean, for like what, 8 months, a year?
Yeah. Probably first 6 months, more than that.
Mine are Sneezer Shroom is kind of on the outs, I think, but more so than that, if we're going back to Beyond the Gates heavy meta, Hydra and Bountiful Meadow.
Yeah.
Tiny Jin.
Hydra.
Yeah.
No, Tiny Jin is back, baby.
No, Tiny Jin.
Tony Jin.
I said that only to piss you off.
Tiny Jin's out.
Tiny Jin out.
Tiny Jin is actually increasing in Bravos and in 2 types of Muna decks, which are awesome. So Tony Jin is back. But yeah, those are my answers.
Maybe meditation training. People were playing that. No, it's really not seen as much. That was like really towards the beginning of Beyond the Gates, though, too. I think Keylon Elemental is probably droppable at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I have any from any other factions.
I can't really think of anything specific from other factions.
What about
maybe a Tinkerbell? I think most decks still run Tinkerbell, though.
Yeah, Tinkerbell's still floating around with it. What about so Fen used to run Festival a lot, right? I don't know is Fen still running a lot of Fen? I don't see a lot of Fen Festival
Probably
anymore.
Not, no.
But that's kind of it's migrated, right? So is that the same? I don't know if it's a staple. I can't call it. It was more of an archetype.
Yeah,
I can't call it a staple.
A gimmick.
An awesome gimmick.
A gimmick deck for sure.
The best gimmick out there.
I'm trying to think of which ones I would pick for Ysmir, but I think a lot of.
I can't really find any from Bravos or Ysmir.
I think a lot of them are still there. Maybe for Bravos, you could say the Tracer. I think there's
people were running that, but the Fleeting now there's better.
Yeah, but yeah. Cool.
People still run
That was less
intimidation,
than-
probably.
Yeah, here and there, but there are more options now. I think that was less than 5 minutes, so we can keep cruising.
Moving on.
Speaking of cruise, Chile says thoughts on set 4 name.
Do we know anything about set 4? All the non-special people? I haven't seen any spoilers.
I was gonna say, what's
but
set
we know
4's
this is Whispers from the Maze.
What is sets 4's names? Everybody gonna die?
You're supposed to guess.
Assuming
you
they
think it'll
escape
be.
the maze and move on.
Ooh, what's
They
beyond?
had the regular one, then a frost one, and then a maze one. Maybe they'll have a desert set next.
Maybe it's beyond the maze.
Beyond the maze. I cannot answer this question.
Yeah, because you know. Everybody. Oh.
Because he knows it, yes.
I do know it. Unfortunately, a lot more people know it than should, because the retailer did leak it. So if you find out the name, don't post it anywhere because it's not supposed to be out yet.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I just Googled it.
Did you find it that easily?
No, but you want to know it does pop up. Oh, did I spell that wrong? No, I spelled that right. I just Googled altered set 4 maze and it came up. The AI overview is Disney Lorcanis.
It says Whispers.
No, it
Yeah,
does.
it's Disney Lorcana.
Yeah, it brings up Disney Lorcana. My assumption is it would be somewhere on Asmodee, and if I did enough digging, I could find it. I should
I
probably.
don't think it was Asmodee. I think it was like some retailer in another country or something.
Oh. That's a very Asmodee thing to do.
I vote that it's a...
Yeah. They should have erased it though, and if people mention it in the Discord, it'll get deleted. So.
Yeah, I don't know. So everybody knows it but me.
Yep, I say it's a desert set. That's what I got.
And you're probably wrong.
I know.
Not everybody, just people who caught it, and
which is most people who are paying more attention than I am. I don't even have time to pay my attention.
They nipped it really quick, as far as I know. So.
Kind of surprised that it's not out there though. Like even Facebook can't seem to find it, or Google can't seem to find it. And Google can usually find anything.
Good. That means that they caught it before it got too far. So
yeah, it's somewhere on Reddit. I'll guarantee you that.
But there are the guesses from the people who can guess. Chili also asked favorite piece of lore to date, and I told him we answered that 2 episodes ago. But he's like, but yeah, now, what about now?
What about now? Man, it's either got to be Match Girl or I still love Penguin. I still love my Magpie Hoarder.
Yeah, Magpie Hoarder is pretty good. And Little Match Girl was really cool and sad as well.
It was cool and dark as shit all at the same time. I loved it. Fit my style. This is wholeheartedly disappointing that I can't find this. I thought my Google skills were better than this. They are clearly not.
Thinking about what lore I like that we've gone through. So I already said I liked Paper Herald. Now I gotta pick another one that I liked.
Yeah, I've been listening to the faction episodes that Heroes Guide put out of the lore. I think I've listened to all of Muna, of course, and a little bit of Lyra. Arok's story is really cool, of course. The reason,
I like Arok.
I forget his name out of drag, but the reason that he got into drag and created the persona Arok was like in honor of his mom. So it was
Almar
really
is
cool.
what it looks like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Amar.
So
Yeah.
very cool.
I like Auroch's story too.
Yep. Arjun, they are just really wholesome gardener vibes, basically. Rin's story is kind of sad. Asia's is pretty cool. Tasia's like an ultimate badass. So
You would say that.
I mean, it's true though.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Not biased at all over here.
I did learn something very sad from the Muna episode though, and it's that the tree, the Muna Bastion, is dying. So
Oh, that's sad. What happened to the tree?
They have not figured it out yet, but like everyone's banding together to try to slow down the decay of the tree. The druids and
the
some
spindle.
of the spindle, some of the Ysmir mages. But yeah, they've been trying to keep it alive.
Okay. What do we got next?
I still like Siggy's story too. That was the first lore article I ever read, and I love the what are they called, griffins or whatever his animal is.
Yeah, I believe it's a griffin.
Am I sounding soft to you, Wookie?
No, we hear you fine.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Right.
Try right click if why is somebody saying? You could always right click on the person and raise their volume if it's too low. You can, I believe you guys can do that in the audience. But I've got you cranked all the way up. I do because you are at normal volume a little low.
I have noise gates and blah 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 and all of that.
Same. But
next is from Draconis. Wookie needs to do a Wookie yell.
A Wookie yell? I don't know if Wookiees yell. You ever heard of Wookie?
No.
Wookie yipe? That sounds like a Wookie yell.
Their roar. I don't know.
The Wookie roar.
I can't do it.
Let me see if I can do it. It's been a long time. I haven't done this since high school. That's where I got the nickname, the Wookie. All right, ready?
Ready.
Is that good enough for you guys? Could you hear it?
No,
I heard
it got
nothing.
completely canceled out.
Yeah, I probably will. Okay, let's try again. Better?
That was good. We got
That's pretty
parts of
good,
it,
but your
we
microphone is really stopping.
I have a
from coming
noise
through.
gate on here, and it probably hits it.
Yeah, we heard it coming through a little bit though, and I could tell it was. Very
You'll have to
good,
listen
so.
to the whole episode now, guys, and actually listen to the episode. Good thing it's only like what 20 minutes in. You're good. You'll fit. Hopefully, the noise gate on other recording software doesn't go like, "What is that?" and totally blur it out. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out later. It'd be funny if it did. It's just quiet.
Yes, we are back to another question from Felix. How feasible would a colorless faction be? A faction that can be used in any deck, no matter the primary. Feasible, I think it's of course feasible. The game design.
We're talking about like cards that are just able to be used in any faction, right? So not colorless, but like like generic actions.
Yeah. I hope this never happens. Is always my statement. I am sure if the game lives long enough, it will probably happen, but I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's much more likely to happen than adding on like a 7th or 8th faction, but I would prefer if they wait until like set 6 or later. I think it could be interesting to add, but I don't really think it's necessary right now.
If this game lives,
there's already a 7th and 8th.
I was gonna say that if this game lives long enough, there will be new factions. Like, there's no way there's not.
Yeah, there will be eventually, but
that's gonna kind of be, I think, this game's way of rotation. Instead of banning cards, or not banning cards, but like rotating out sets and whatnot, they might rotate out they might rotate out factions. Like, oh, a faction's getting too strong. It doesn't really need any more support, so we'll move a new faction in. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know. That's just me being in.
There's
yes, Ordis.
Yeah.
Ordis can
rotate out Ordis.
Yeah.
Get Ordis out of here.
Does Ordis really need any more like help?
Waru
maybe,
does.
Well, Waru's dead.
Maybe after this set, we'll see.
Like, Waru's done, right? Like, he's not coming back. He had his time in the sunlight. I still would like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was me and Felix talked about it. It might have been me and Chili. Like, the living legend type rule, right? Where, like, once
if you win too much, you get kicked
once it
out.
gets too much, like, a hero just gets retired. Like, I still think that would be a good idea.
Blood does with that.
And I mean, the only thing is they didn't start really doing like high-end tournaments right away, so Waru would still be running wild, I guess, right now if we didn't do that, but we'll see.
Yep.
There's always time to change.
I don't remember the second of the other factions, but one of them is called the Lost Tribe. So those exist in the lore. I think with how cool Altered's lore is, and like how people kind of dedicate themselves to a faction, I think it would be really cool to see a card just entirely change factions and it be part of the lore. Like, if after Saskia is no longer brainwormed, if she's like, oh, actually, I'm more interested in the mage arts or whatever, like she goes over to Ysmir. I think people would hate that, but I think it would be cool.
No, that's not a terrible idea. I mean, that could very well be in the lore, right? Like the whole, like, oh, like obviously it's a thing that's going on right now. If you're reading the lore, there's brain worms and sap, right? That this could all be things where a lot of people change factions. It would, do you change heroes then? Like, do the heroes' abilities change if they change factions?
If the hero changed factions, maybe, but Saskia is just a card, so it wouldn't be as big of an impact.
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, let's just say a hero did. I guess I should have prefaced with that. My bad. I didn't quite set that one up as well as I could have. But like, let's say a hero did change, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm actually not this, right? I'm actually this. But it was the sap. The sap was getting to me, or whatever, whatever in storyline, yada yada. Like,
yeah.
Okay, let's just say Fen all of a sudden now is not. Is it okay? So is it in storyline, right? Is it possible for a hero to get a new companion?
So I actually don't know, because the process to bond with their Eidolon, or whatever, I sometimes get the terms mixed up because there's a couple terms within actual lore.
I think that's
basically they become one soul,
right?
So like they become like intertwined together.
So if one dies, the other one dies.
I don't know if it's quite like that, but it could be interesting. It would be interesting, like, if for some reason people decided to try and help Lindaway and like remove Ma from her, like what would happen and what that would look like. But I don't know if anywhere in the lore that has happened.
Like let's say, because it's
every single thing.
They're attached to each other, but it almost seems more of a marriage and less of a, like, I don't know. I guess I don't know how I really want to explain that. Well, that's just like Fen's like, oh, I don't like Crowbar no more. I actually want to be with Ma. You could have like
what is
little
funny
hero
is-
companion love triangles. Ooh. Jerry.
funny is
Jerry.
That example is probably like outside of lore. That example is probably the best one you could have picked because they're all in a band together. So what if the band breaks up?
Oh
Does
yeah, what
Fenn
if the
and
band
Crowbar
breaks
get in a
up?
fight?
Oh man. Yeah.
So, I mean,
And could
could
heroes
happen,
be
but I don't know.
downgraded from hero to character?
To character.
Could you see a Fen character
Anything's
card?
possible.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Once it loses its companion,
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess we don't know what happens when you lose your companion. Yeah, but let's say
not
your,
as far as
No.
I've read.
let's say your companion does bite the big one, and yet you're still around. Do you get a new companion, or like are you just now a character?
Yeah.
All interesting
Maybe
questions.
Aphanis will retire.
Maybe he just becomes an old monk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we've spent enough time on this question.
Sierra. Yeah.
Keep going.
I was just going to say Sierra goes from being born in a Lyra caravan to then joining Axiom after she loses her legs. So there's definitely
there you go.
a devotion to a certain faction. So it'd be interesting to see if that changed.
We could do a lot of stuff here. I'm digging it. You could have a big shakeup. All right, what do we got next?
Again from the Felix. I think he's missing us out there in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Living the life out there, I'm sure, but would high cost characters be better if they had tough? I think this
Yes.
answer is mainly just
All of them
yes.
are very much better with tough. Yes. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that they're like good, but it still makes them better if they're tough. If your characters are harder to remove by cheap removal, then they are worth more.
I think the game designers have found a way to make high cost characters good or at least better without adding tough though. I think Scout and
With
then
Scout,
some of
yeah.
the new dynamics from this set, like
The hunger
Loki.
is wild. The hunger is crazy. And
Yeah,
Loki can be super good against certain decks too.
Yep. So you're gonna see more Loki to counterbalance against things like the hunger. And you might see instead of Hydras, since they start at 0 basically and gain boosts, you might see characters that are already natively strong becoming in favor because of like Sap Duende or Man in the Maze.
You've been
So-
saying this for like 2 sets. Just by the way, I just want to.
It is what it is.
All right.
I think
There's,
we will start to see more big characters, but I think the small aggro style will stick around.
I don't think you will when there's still when there's that much removal out there. It's just too many resources to give up for the chance of it being removed so easily. I don't think you're
Yeah.
going to see it unless they have some way of like I don't know. I just don't know because like it's the same thing in Magic. Like a lot of people don't like playing the big creatures because they're so easily removed.
Yeah, you just counterspell it or kill it or whatever, and it's done.
Yeah, like
The majority of the meta will stay low cost,
Yes.
low curve, yada yada. But there's been more successful decks recently that use some
because
of the
like
high
tough
cost
is like
cards,
ward,
like
right?
Loki
Because I
and
don't
stuff.
see a lot of tough. So tough is like ward if I remember correctly,
is-
right?
Tough is kind of like the magic term.
Magic
that makes them
ward.
pay more.
Right, it makes you pay more
Yeah,
to target,
magic
right?
ward.
So there's no keyword. The only thing that I can think of is having a keyword that says, it can't be targeted by spells. That's the only way I see them really coming into favor.
Cool. Just give them invulnerability to spells?
Or something like that, yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's possible in a future set. You never know.
But then what if you find a way to then give them invulnerability and gigantic and eternal? Then that seems too strong if you can do that.
That's called winning, Dexter.
You still have to get that far into the game, though. That's...
Right. I mean, there's going to have to be a downside, right? But it's so risky playing a high value creature or high value character, and just if it just gets washed off the board so easily,
killed. Yeah.
Tough is fine, but
a lot of mana ramp will help with that too. That we're seeing in Outsadi. If you ramp a whole bunch, then playing something big and losing it, you still have some mana to save yourself.
Sure, but then do you really want to add that much ramp into this game?
Yeah.
You add that amount of ramp, that just becomes the meta then at that point. If you're allowed to play big things all the time because you're ramping out of crazy, you just, now that's the meta. So I don't know if you want to add that amount of ramp.
It's really only Bravos that has the ramp access. Now a little bit Muna too.
But if you're going to add it, you can't just add it to one faction. You have to add it to all factions.
That's not true.
Well, yeah, because then what are the other factions?
That's not how this game has operated. So, Muna has anchored, right?
Okay.
None of the other factions really have that much anchor.
Right, they have anchored, but then anchored doesn't.
Lyra has a little bit.
Anchor doesn't make me not be able to destroy it. I can still kill it, right?
Then you add, yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a question for a different day.
I think it's possible that they just keep ramp to one or two factions and make it so that it has a place in the meta, but it's still not dominating. I think they've done a good job with that so far.
Yeah, just talk to commander players and how they feel about green.
Yeah.
But all right, what do we got? What do we got next?
Okay. We have Draconis says, when they show food being cooked in the cards, do we think it might be some of the characters being caught and eaten?
Yes.
Absolutely. The penguins, the raccoons, the walruses.
1,000,000%.
Absolutely. There's so many characters that are animals. The fire bunny. I'm sure there's others that I can't think of, but there's a lot of animals. Absolutely.
Fire bunny might be tough to eat.
But once it dies,
is that what they call fast food?
It probably stops burning, right?
Harvester Doombringer, I will come to your house.
Why couldn't you eat a spindle harvester?
I guess.
Why couldn't you eat a spindle harvester?
The shrooms are because I'll come to your house with a gun.
What is that? What? Why? I was just hungry.
A gun?
You're gonna hurt somebody for being hungry? That's harsh.
For eating a spindle harvester,
I have plenty of extra spindle harvesters. If you want one, Cole, I have 20 right over here. You can have one. Eating one of them's not going to hurt anybody.
Eating them.
Why would you? Why would you think they don't eat them? What in your head's
I'm not saying that they don't. I'm saying if you do.
Well, this isn't real life, bro.
My answer is, I think unfortunately, there is some eating of them, because if you look at Snoozer Shroom, someone took a bite out of him.
Some eating of that. There's more than some. They are eating those things. All of them. Well, maybe not the people.
I want to see this bite taken out of Snoozer Shroom. Oh, nice.
I was saying, go look at the art. It's there. But yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're definitely eating
unique
art. There's a lot of plants they're eating.
Yeah, in the unique art, he's handing you a piece of what looks like his cap. So,
what? Like in Pokemon, do you think they don't eat the Pokemon? 100% they do.
They definitely eat the Pokemon.
Yeah, there's that episode of the anime where they're eating Magikarps. Fucked up, man.
Is it?
But on to... Yeah, it is.
Why?
On to the next question.
Oh, you're a
Doombringer.
vegetarian. That's right. I
You
forgot.
Normally eat fish. He's vegan, yeah.
I forgot you're vegan.
We're all fine
The
with eating
thing-
animals.
Yeah, you guys are all freaking crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna play with these creatures, make them fight your battles, and then turn around and cook them in a stew?
Yeah.
Fucked up, man.
Yes.
No respect.
No.
But Doombringer says, what is your favorite card that people don't play?
Magpen Hoarder. Well, actually, I don't know. He's kind of
He
played.
does like that card.
He's kind of played.
Very good in Fen right now. If Felix was here, he would say Garrick.
Is Tiny Match Girl being played
Yeah.
a lot lately?
No, not too much.
There you go. I'll go with that one.
I think Sarengar is better.
And
I
who-
honestly really like the flavor of all of the Icebound permanents, but none of them are really good enough to be played in most decks.
I do have to say, so like
But I really like the design of them.
Felix has his Garrick, right? And I have my Magpen Hoarders. Trying to collect all of them is actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I'm not really a collector of anything, but like when you're like, I want them all, it's kind of fun.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know why. It just is. Every day there's a new discovery of whatever it is you're looking for on the marketplace. Unfortunately, I now too have a Visa, which is being a bitch in the marketplace. Thanks, marketplace. But
I had no
my
problems.
answer
I
is
don't know what's up with
Arrows.
all of y'all.
I don't
Okay.
have any.
are you using a
You made a
Visa?
whole bunch of Arrows decks.
I have used
Me?
both Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah, I had a problem with Visa. I had to hook up my
I
Cash
just
App
linked it
card
directly
to
to my bank account.
Oh, I didn't see that option.
I
But-
think.
Yours might
I don't
be your
remember.
address, Wookie, because you said your address.
My
weird,
address is Jack,
and,
so it might be my address because my address is a weird address that, man, if I told somebody overseas that this was my address, actually I have done that, and they're like, oh, are you I get back are you sure?
Is
And
that
I'm
a
like,
real address?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, that's my real address. It's legit.
Yeah, Visa will just straight up deny the charge if the addresses don't match 100%. And with UPS, they sometimes correct addresses. And I've seen people have that issue before. Simon had to change his address to match so that Visa stopped bouncing it.
Mm. All right. What do we got next?
We have Draconis. Do you think it's worth it to still get a box of Kickstarter Beyond the Gates, new player or current? I tell people if you can get one for under $140, absolutely. It is a great box. And you can hunt for a God Pack. So
Yeah. They're still out there.
Easy. We just saved
80 is
4.5
crazy,
minutes.
Draconis.
Yeah.
Man,
$80 by 2.
League of Legends now has a card game?
Yes,
This
coming
is
out in October.
Ridiculous.
Are you ready for our spin-off episode,
No.
Rift Corner?
Riftbound.
Yeah, Rift Corner.
Yeah, is Riftbound a game before League of Legends did it, or is it League of Legends and the game's just called Riftbound?
The card game is called Riftbound, yeah.
And it's just okay. So it was a card game before, and now they're just using the League of Legends IP.
Oh, no, it's brand new League of Legends.
Oh, okay.
Like, made TTRPG.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I got sent somebody linked me to it on Twitter or X or whatever this is, but I was like, huh, this is weird. And so yeah. For all you legal, you're probably
I think
a big.
it's gonna be my second game.
Are you gonna do some Riftbound?
Yeah.
Are you gonna leave Altered for Riftbound?
Yeah, I'll. No, that's why I said
No.
second game.
Oh, okay. You'll dabble.
But then, yeah, the next question.
But yeah, no. For the
Felix.
Kickstarter version, I think 100%. Right? Like, still a lot of
Yeah.
core cards are from Beyond the Gate. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's got more in each pack. It's got higher rarity chance. Blah,
Yeah.
blah, all that. So yeah,
Sounds like
Just
a
don't
good
get
time to
ripped
me.
off, and it's worth it.
Yeah, sounds like a good time to me.
Felix says, if you guys were a hero in the game, which faction, ability, reserve, and landmark limits would you have?
Oh my gosh. I don't think I fit into this game. I'm too basic.
Too basic. I mean, if you think about it, Tasia is kind of basic, but
But I'm not like a super nature lover or anything. I would probably be Bravos.
Waru.
Just because I have no fear and I do whatever I want. Even like adventure kind of nature.
This is the overnight house guest one, right?
I have
Yes.
no.
What?
No.
Are you already skipping?
I guess I did skip one.
No.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
If you were a hero in the game, what would you be?
Oh. Like, do I have to pick a hero? And like,
I would say Bravos.
I
No.
identify like
Pick your
with
own
them?
faction ability and
Pick my own faction.
pick your own. Make your own hero that like lines up with who you are. I would pick Bravos. My ability would probably be to remove fleeting on people somehow. And I would pick 3 reserve and 1 landmark. Why not? Let's do a whole bunch of resupply fleeting shenanigans in Bravos.
Oh, I didn't know we were going that deep into it. Oh yeah, there it is.
I would,
torn.
of course, be in Muna.
Of course you would be.
Would be
Eating sneezer shrooms.
tall. No, I would be a tall mycelium, like creature.
Okay, those are cool.
I'd be the only non-human hero, and my companion. I'll just take Floor as my companion. That works. And
You'll take
I will
Floor?
have what?
That what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will take yes. Yep. I will have water counters that I can tap my hero to refill my water jug, and I can distribute water to give plants boosts. And I'll have 3 landmarks, 1 reserve. Yeah, that's me. Lambent mycelium. I'll be a big old tree.
Big tree that gets real big. Yep.
This is a toughie for me. I feel like I'm torn between
What do you
2.
got, Wookie?
That's what I was just trying to explain that. I feel like I'm torn between 2 right now. Right? Am I more Ysmir
Okay.
or am I more Muna? Lyra. Probably more Ysmir.
You like both of those.
I do like both of those, but I'm probably more Ysmir than I am Lyra. I'm not into all the hippie stuff like Lyra is, right?
Yeah.
But I do love fucking with people. It is one of my favorite hobbies.
Thought that sentence was gonna end a lot sooner, and I was like, "Yep, checks out."
Yeah, dude, it is one of my favorite hobbies. But I feel like Ysmir does a lot of fucking with people too, right? Just in a different way.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like removals. Like
They're a
I guess
bunch of
I guess I'm kind of pointing that as like a bunch of like fucking with people. Like, hi, just as you thought you had it, you don't, sucker. I could probably go with
Yeah,
Ysmir.
Lyra has tricksters, and
Yeah.
gambling, and all sorts of stuff.
I do love gambling. Can I be a split faction? Can I be the first split faction hero? You can play me with Ysmir or Lyra?
Sure, just for you.
But
What's
can
your
have
ability?
But you can have, well, I think the ability would have to be like, you can't have any, what is it, off faction cards? Right? They either have to be the Lyra rare or common, or the Ysmir rare or common. You can't use any of the the Ortis. Yeah, the oofs.
No oofs.
No oofs. No oofs. And my ability would have to be something with rolling dice. I just don't know what it would be. Like it would
In
have.
Ysmir?
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the first dual faction hero here, right? So like somewhere in there, it would have to be like, man, what do we roll? What's the most random? What is the worst die to roll that nobody ever has? I think it's the D8, right? Or is it a D12? Nope. I think we're rolling a D12. Just to make you have to buy a whole set of dice for no reason.
Yeah, it'd probably be D12.
Yeah, and I think each one of those, like you could roll the dice every turn, and each number would have a different, one would be like sabotage, one would be like reserve. Exhaust reserve. One would be, everyone would be something a little bit different. And then if you roll a 20 on a D12, you just win the game.
12 options?
Yeah, you'd have 12 different...
Wookie, imagine what your hero would look like.
Yeah,
you would have 12... How much text do you have on your hero?
So much text.
Lord.
So much text. And if you roll a 20 on a D12, you just win the game.
Nice. Sounds pretty good.
Well, there we are. There we are as heroes.
Oh, I'm gonna be basic bitch with this. I'm just gonna go with the 2 reserve, two landmarks. I think I'm pretty standard in that affinity. There you go.
To follow that up, Draconis asks, which hero would make a horrible overnight house guest?
Waru.
Sigismar. Easy.
Waru.
Fuck that guy.
He smells like Bengay.
Waru's just an old guy.
That's why he smells like Bengay.
What did he ever do to you?
What? Bengay smells great.
What? It smells like peppermint.
No, it does not. What Bengay are you sniffing?
I mean...
I don't even know what that is. What word are you saying?
Bengay?
Bengay. You're too young to know.
How do you spell that?
B-E-N...
Exactly how it sounds.
Yeah, B-E-N-G-A-Y. Bengay. Yeah, old people rub it. You ever go next to old people and you're like, it smells like old people. That's what Bengay smells like.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, that's what that is.
There's also Tiger Balm.
There is Tiger Balm. You now have Biofreeze now, too. I do like Biofreeze. I use a lot of Biofreeze.
Sigismar is a freaking military weenie committing war crimes. He would definitely be terrible.
What war crimes has he committed? Besides for the ones in your head.
He put Kitsune and Tony Jin in jail just for fun.
It wasn't just for fun. Let's be honest what it really was for.
Because he wanted to show off to recruits, and the Tiny Jin was just in his way.
Well, I mean, can't be in the way.
I don't have an answer for this question. I think they would all be fine.
What?
I mean, Nevenka would probably be really bad too, honestly.
Well, Nevenka's a little fucked in the head.
She would eat all your snacks. She'd make a mess. She'd probably...
Yeah, that is true. I was thinking Nevenka with all the spray paint and all the shit she would be up to.
Yep. Track mud in the house.
Too rambunctious. Yeah.
Is Nevenka the youngest hero?
Oh... gotta be either
looks
Nevenka
like it.
or Rin.
Oh, Rin. Yeah, Rin might be young,
yeah.
too.
Rin is pretty young.
but I'm not sure.
You just don't
I
like
believe
fun.
they are all. I mean, I would take Navenko over Sigismar any day. So,
Oh. All right. Next question.
What war crimes did he commit?
He's
I
upset
just
because
told you, and we
he
read it on this podcast.
he fucked with Tiny Jin, and that makes Cole sad.
Oh yeah.
Also, the Ordis are absolutely the military. So, I mean, what war crimes?
Yeah, that is true. You don't want military in your house. They're all a hive mind. They're all gonna know about me. I don't want that.
All right. What do we got next?
All right. I think this is the last one from Draconis.
All right.
So, on after this, we move on to Reddit and Discord questions.
All right.
Draconis says, when they eventually add more heroes or maybe villains to the game,
yes,
how many more do you feel should be added? Should any heroes be retired when new ones come out, or just add to the ones we already have?
I think it should be limit. What is it? 3 times 6, 18 max at a time. I think as many as they want can be added, but probably no more than like 3 per set. I don't want them to add like 6 new heroes and then retire 6 per set. That seems too drastic change.
Well, what if they added like 6 new ones, but they only retired like, let's say, like 1 from each faction? I guess that's 6.
Then that would be retiring 6.
Yeah. Don't point out the logic, the flaw in my math. What if they retired like 2, but they added like 6 new ones?
Maybe that's fine, but then like I don't want them to keep doing that. Because if I have like 40 heroes that are all alive, then that's too many.
What if they never retired any hero and just kept adding? You just get new heroes. Like, let's say next set comes out and they're like, here's
that's
a
too
new
much for my small brain
new
that
hero
I'm now
for
gonna
each faction.
have to build. Like, I think that makes it too complicated and too difficult to do deck building because now you have too many options and it's like.
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. You don't think like that? That's literally
I don't like it. It's too hard for me. Too many options.
It's not too hard. Too many options. It becomes a very viable game state where no one deck is destroying. Right? Like if you
but then you're gonna have to balance every single hero. That's too hard to balance.
You don't think they had to balance them in the beginning?
But what I'm saying here also is that if you're having 40 heroes, there's no way they're all balanced with each other.
Well, that's why at quarterly
keeping it at 18 is a good benchmark.
I say
they can rotate out heroes if they're super good or super bad, and then make it more even so that there's a broader spread.
I say the more the merry, and there's nothing wrong with having a super awesome meta where it is very unpredictable and a lot of fun.
I don't think they've ever mentioned rotating a hero out yet. There will be new heroes for the next set. I can only answer parts of this question, so that's all I'll say.
All right. What do we got next? Moving into the Reddit questions, huh? Do we I'm guessing we made a post on Reddit looking for questions?
Yeah, when I decided that this is what we will do, I posted everywhere. Twitter and Blue Sky gave me nothing, so you guys have all failed me. You don't follow us on there, but you want to. Now you can know that we exist there.
We exist on Twitter and
Reddit,
Blue Sky.
Yeah. M. Tross left a bunch of good questions and also said, fan of the pod. So shout out to M. Tross. First question is, what's your favorite card back design of the 3 current versions? I was
There are
gonna
different
put-
versions.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna put the versions for you guys here,
You didn't notice?
but I forgot. So now,
Is it the heroes, the
heroes, the tokens, and
tokens,
then,
and then the
all the
regular
other cards.
cards?
Yeah. They're all slightly different
well,
from
each
each other.
set also has a different back.
Wait, say what?
Each set is different too?
Yeah.
Now I gotta look at all my cards.
Yeah. Hold on. Pause. Hold on. What's different about them? All right, Cole. What's different about them all?
I don't think you can actually. I don't think you can tell on the actual cards.
Oh.
I think it's more so they put them out on the sleeves. I'll show you them.
Okay, now I'm interested because I'm looking and I'm like,
Personally, I cannot tell the difference
I
at
don't
all.
see it.
The only ones that are different are regular cards versus tokens.
don't the heroes have different
you have
backs
to
too?
look-
I believe they do.
No, they're the same as regular cards.
All right.
You have to look at the sleeves.
Oh, the
art
sleeve art. Okay,
Um,
there's one.
yeah, I think there's
Okay.
actually. Oh wait, no, there are 3.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So the sleeve
So
art changed.
Is
Okay.
this one from Trial by Frost, Beyond the Gates, and Whispers from the Maze each have a different card back sleeve art?
for the sleeves.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
the sleeves. Okay. I
But
like
the card
third-
themselves
I think-
are the same.
Yeah.
That's what we have.
Trial by Frost is my favorite.
I like Trial by Frost. That one's the most vibrant, most interesting.
What's the third one? I'm guessing that's Whispers from the Maze.
Whispers from the Maze.
I like that one.
Whispers from the Maze is really
That one's cool,
as well. I just really like the Trial by Frost one.
Yeah. same
Trial by
here.
Frost is
We
super,
all
like,
agree
whim-
that Beyond the Gates is the most boring.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
interesting,
not
but-
bad, but the other ones are
I mean,
better.
you got something that's like super whimsical in Trial by Frost, right? I don't know. Something draws me to the Whispers from the Maze.
It looks like almost 3D.
I'm trying to remember what that movie was that kind of has this. Polar Bear. It was an animated movie. Polar Bears.
Express.
No, it wasn't Polar Express. Polar Bear. The animals talked and they were at like war. I'm gonna have to go find that movie now.
Huh? Only thing I can think of is Ice Age.
Not Ice Age.
I think I know what you were talking about. But I thought that was in the same one. I thought that was all in Polar Express.
No, the Golden Compass.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Never
vibe
heard
I
of it.
get. Well, now
That
go.
one is not animated though.
It is not. It's live action. You are correct. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that was animated. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of CGI, but
yeah, the polar bear is animated, so it counts.
and for whatever reason, that's the vibes I get from that one. So I dig it.
Yeah,
That's what I
it
dig.
works.
Yeah, I see that.
What I dig. All right.
Next question from M. Tross is, what would you want to see done for the next Tumult event? Prizing, story, lore connections.
I think what would be cool. Maybe not. I don't know if it necessarily. Well, okay, Tumult, fine. I mean, they have already kind of done something where the Tumults have effect on the storyline. So I guess they've kind of already done what I like. I like when the players have an effect on the storyline, right? But I would like it to be less meta driven, and I don't know how you do that. I also think events events where one hero, and this would probably have to be more like local events, like we're playing Ortis has broken out into a civil war. You need to bring your Ortis deck this week to see which of the three factions, Waru, Sigismar, or Gulrang, which one's going to prevail. Sigismar
that could be cool, doing local events
trying to overthrow the Senate. Whatever, stuff like that. We're like, you all pretty much have the same card pool. And who are you representing? It kind of gets dicey, though.
For pricing wise,
I think they do a good job.
Pricing wise, I really like the prize packs they have right now, but maybe just adding some like different prize packs, just shake it up a little bit. Like I know for the
what do you want different about them?
The big tournaments that qualify you in Dallas. There's like hero packs. I'm really interested to see what those are.
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe see those at the locals too.
I think this is an area that Altered actually like really fucking crushes it because my other example is always Star Wars Unlimited, but their prizing and special cards kind of suck. And Altered always has really good promo cards, really good rewards for events. Honestly, it may feel like kind of a cop-out, but I just want to see more people at the events, especially in Texas. Austin seems to be doing really well lately, but it's been a little rough around Dallas and Houston, which is wild because there's so many of us. But being spread out is also kind of what hurts, I guess. But don't be afraid to go out and play. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. I've not been really helping on that aspect. I haven't gone to locals in a while just because life, but it is what it is.
Way to suck, Dexter.
I really would like to go to locals more, but another reason that kind of keeps me from going to them is being like, there's only like 5 other people there. But if we had like 10 plus, I would be a lot more interested in going to locals often.
Well, you got to come to let people know more people are coming.
Yeah.
It's kind of how these things work.
Or like the Kirakomi style thing, I think really the best way to actually have the spirit of the tumult is to, I don't know. I feel like people just care about getting first place and getting that playmat. So I'm not really sure there is anything you can do to change it. I just wish people engaged more with the spirit of what the tumults are. And I know a lot of people were disappointed that Ortis and Ysmir won, but there were also a lot of people that brought those decks just so they could win. So maybe if they switch it to like top 8 gets the points, gets like 1 point or something, or has a like set amount of points, like first obviously gets the most points, second, and it goes down from there. The other option,
try to incentivize other factions.
Yeah, the other way, of course, would just be 1 point per deck of that faction that shows up, and that could be another cool way. Because but they always do really well, so I'm looking forward to the next ones, and the WCQs should be really interesting as well.
Yeah, the WCQs to which you're playing in, right? I would be interested in
seeing them. Yes, that's in Dallas.
Yeah, to which Cole...
you two are playing in it.
Yeah, Cole's playing in it.
Yes, Cole is playing.
Yep. I am playing if for some reason I don't get asked to judge.
Oh, you won't. I made a call.
Okay.
I did.
You called...
I think for Tumults, it could be good to do draft or sealed as well. They kind of did only constructed, which I think adding the others in mixing it up could be interesting
Well,
too.
you know, I think, especially for these championship qualifiers, like, I don't know. I've always thought Magic, believe it or not, I'm actually going to give Magic a kind of a compliment here, I guess. They've always done a good job and they don't really, I guess there's really only, well, what you got? You have sealed, you have constructed, and you have limited, right? I guess is the way of putting it in Altered. Because you have this,
2v2.
and 2v, well, is that an official format?
Yeah.
Oh, 2v2 is official?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's official and
Well,
free for all. I think
That's those two are a little dodgy. But if you had to be, you got to be proficient in all of Magic's formats, right? You have to be proficient in Modern,
Mhm.
you have to be proficient in Standard, and you have to be proficient in Draft. And I really like that, where like to be the best, you have to be proficient in all of those formats. You can't get to World Championship unless you are proficient in everything. I dig that.
Mhm.
I think that's super important because like somebody can be really good. I mean, any game I've ever played, some people are really good at sealed. Some people are really good at constructed. Some people are really good in, other formats. You got to be proficient in all of them, which I would like to see them adopt. You would have like your limited, which would be your get 6 packs and build. You have your draft, which is, obviously your traditional draft, and then you would have your constructed. Maybe that's not put in at the qualifier. Well, no, I think maybe that should be the qualifier. Well, maybe not. I don't know with how they got it going on too, because I'm sorry, not Dragon Con. They're going to QuakeCon. They might not have the time to do all of that. That's a very long and grueling process, but maybe for World.
I totally agree with you though.
Yeah. That's one thing I would like to see.
I think these are
doing
all
multiple
different
formats and having to do well in all of them is good.
Right.
I think those are all different events, though. I think
they're all different events, but I think for the end all be all, like the if you want to be the champion, if you want to be the very best, like no one ever was, and train to is the real test, right? Like you need to be proficient in all of those. But that's me.
All right, next question from Mtros still. Best errata so far for the health of the game?
Waru.
Robin Hood, hands down.
Really? You think Robin Hood's still better
Robin Hood was way more important. After the Robin Hood nerf, Waru was not top 8ing like everything. Like it was still like probably like 2 to 3 of the top 8 slots per event, but it wasn't like it was like 6 or 7 of them.
All right, man.
After the Robin
really
Hood,
boring.
It was fine.
Tournaments were literally 6 out of 8 places were Wario. The meta was not in a good place. And ever since Robin Hood, even if you take out all the other changes they've made, the game would be amazing since Robin Hood change.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at your choice.
I like I've liked a lot of the suspensions and stuff they've done. Ozma and Baba Yaga taking away card draw from Siggy is good. And then I also really liked the small step change. So small step is not as oppressive anymore. Those are my favorites. I didn't like the Robin Hood one personally, just because, I was playing Waru, but,
Small step was also good and refreshing, but definitely Robin Hood, hands down. And it's also the one that people blew up the most about, so that's how you know it's good.
Yeah. Yep.
Most often forgotten rule when playing in person. I can give you
putting on fleeting counters.
That one is up there, but the one that I would say is actually the most forgotten. And the reason it's forgotten is because in organized play and just for fun, it's not super important. But if you get used to this and you're planning on going to a competitive event, you do not mana until the first player has manaed. So
Yeah.
you take turns manning, and I would say technically that is the most forgotten rule when playing in person.
Yeah, everyone just does it at the same time whenever you want,
Yeah,
whenever you decide it. But it is the second player's the second player gets to know whether the first player manned or not before they choose.
Yep.
Can I tell you the most difficult
That's kind of
thing
like the
I have
Keyforge
for
mulligan at the beginning thing.
Right, yeah. Can I tell you the most thing that drives me nuts the most when playing? And maybe this is just playing with Dexter. Not sure.
What's that?
Without having the little like barriers around things. Like this is where my reserve is. This is where my permanents are and all that like BGA has. I found sometimes it very difficult to track what is what.
Like where your landmarks versus
Right. Well,
reserve are.
not
Having
only
the
that,
play mat that
but,
has
like,
those zones on it helps a lot.
Maybe it was just how you play, but I'm like, what the hell are those cards down there? You're like, those are my reserves. And I was like, well, what the hell are those cards down there? And you're like, that's my landmark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure? I don't know what's going on here. I'm lost. Maybe you're just a sloppy player too, because they were kind of all over the place. But
Yeah, a little bit.
I might need to buy an actual altered mat. Because having without those little sections was a little crazy.
Yeah. I do not use or ever want to have any mat that does not have the little cutouts. I love my little boxes. And it actually does sometimes become a problem when people use a mat that doesn't have those designations.
I could definitely see that.
You can be like, wait, is that your reserve? Is that your discard? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that because that was me and Dexter were just playing on a normal mat, and I was like, wait, what are those? What's that? Wait, what are them? So it was kind of like constantly trying to keep track of where all his junk was. But
there are a lot of different zones.
There are a lot of zones.
As Doombringer and Dexter said, fleeting and forgetting to put on fleeting is another huge one. But for me, it's the what is important when you are the first player. I think a lot of people don't know, and that's one of the good rules that you can make sure you buff up on before a competitive event. Because it's not only mana, it's a couple other things.
Bleeding, I think, is the big one. Because
what are you laughing about, Dexter?
Dexter, you and I never used a fleeting token.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
I'm laughing at Doombringer saying that he only forgets to mana after the first player every other turn, because every other turn you are the first player.
Yeah.
Contrary to what Dexter's saying, we never used a fleeting token in any of the games we played. I hate to tell you, Dexter, we didn't.
Yes, we did, Wookie.
No, we didn't. We definitely never
We
did.
just played them, and then we're like, this one had fleeting on it, and then you put it to discard?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, we did that a few times, probably.
More than a few times. It was like, oh yeah, this one's fleeting. Yeah, this one needs to go to the discard pile now.
I have done that one as
well. Because that's the thing that like the computer does for you that like in person there's no computer.
Yep. This next question is one we've kind of already answered. Still from M Truss on Reddit, but favorite character from a story or a lore perspective. If I'm doing it specifically based off of the lore perspective and not any mechanics. Oh man, yeah, that's hard. Honestly, probably Arok.
Penguin.
Yeah, Meg Pen Hoarder.
Still love the Penguin.
I need to read a lot more lore,
I think the Hoarder wins in most situations, only because you never know what he has.
Yep.
You never know what's behind
What about-
door. You never know what's behind door B. It could be anything, even a boat. If you get that reference,
What
you're
about you,
old.
Dexter?
I don't know. I don't know enough lore to have a good answer to this.
We go through lore weekly. Are you even here?
Yeah.
Are you
But
sure?
it says character, though.
Yeah.
I liked Garrick's lore.
There you go.
Garrick's
You
was
like Garrick's lore,
fun.
so Garrick it is. I don't know why that was such a
Samurai dude.
tough. I don't know why that was such a difficult question for you to answer. Like you're
This,
not even. It's like you're
next
not even
one-
here.
I'll
I
let you
am
guys
here.
go first. But
Okay.
thoughts on
Uh-huh.
state/health of the marketplace?
Is there a problem?
Uniques are still way too overpriced. All commons and rares are great. It is, in my opinion, kind of a bit of a pain to get them printed once you buy them. But if you are doing it just from a digital place, getting all the cards you need is great.
I will say printing is the most difficult thing because it's like, ooh, because I want them sent to a game store, and it's like, ooh, who do I send mine to? The answer is I don't know.
Hopefully they get up and going on that before too very long, because I know a lot of people want the LGS option. I am a diehard fan of the marketplace. I've said it many times that there's not another TCG that has anything like it. While yes, there are some features that we would enjoy, like some more options in the filter and sorting, it's amazing how it is, and so I love it. I think it also does exactly what I told people it would, and it kind of regulates itself a little bit like the WoW marketplace does. When cards first come out and there's limited quantity, they're a little higher in price. As more people get them, they go down in price. If they become a lot more meta relevant, they go up a little, but still not anything crazy.
Yep.
Is there still the price cap
could-
on them? Or do they-
I think so, but I don't even look around that high.
It doesn't matter to me. It's not like people
Yeah.
are actually going out and buying $250 uniques.
Well, you know, if I was going to buy a
My-
Magpie hoarder, I
My
might.
personal
For
philosophy
Depends on the hoarder.
is that no unique is worth over $30.
Yes.
So I don't.
I would say
I
50.
don't even.
But yes.
There are very, very few outliers where technically it could be worth 50, 100. But I think those are stupid to purchase because they might get knocked down. And also, I don't
Suspended or whatever.
believe that they give you enough of an advantage to be worth that much money. So I don't look at anything above $30. So
Same here.
yeah,
All right.
I love it. They're working on more stuff. It's great. It's better than TCG Player or whatever by far. I started to build like a collection on TCG Player, and if that is like the number one, the big shining star, that website's not good either. If you want to like really say that the marketplace is not good. But anyways, we're almost there. We are now moving into Discord questions.
Ooh!
This one. Woo! This
I'm
one from
excited.
Simon. Would you rather fight 10 spike-sized Arjuns or one Arjun-sized spike?
I don't know what this question even
It's
means.
got to be 10 spike-sized Arjuns. I don't want a massive cactus in my face. That seems scary.
But now you have 10 10
10 little men. Who cares?
Right.
He's just an old guy.
I don't know.
They are not an old guy.
Arjun seems kind of old.
Nah, Arjun.
You have to remember everything seems kind of old to Dexter. He's like 19 years old.
Yeah, he looks like
He could be like 25.
40.
Arjun.
That's old.
Arjun is also not a he.
It's
See?
not?
Arjun is they.
I don't pay attention to
they,
these
them.
things.
Yeah,
My fault.
Texas brain.
I'm going for the one Arjun-sized spike, and I'm becoming friends. I'm not fighting.
That's not an option. You have
But it
to
says
fight.
you have to fight it.
It says you have to fight.
It says, would you rather? It doesn't say gun to my head. I have to fight.
Yes, it says, would you rather fight? That's literally the next word.
You
Fight.
have to fight it, Cole.
You have to fight.
You can't make peace with everyone.
I'm winning one Arjun-sized spike in an arm wrestle, and then I am hopping on Spike's back, and we're going to the White House, and we're destroying it together.
Oh, okay.
Bull is the king of non-answers, I swear.
I just answered.
That's not an answer.
All right, last couple of questions here are from Loki Knox. First one is, if you could have a card as a co-caster, who would you pick?
Anyone, huh? Ooh. Well, first thing that comes to mind, Penguin, right? Like, he has just a plethora of knowledge. I love the Penguin. Man, I like, if you think, like, the first thing that popped into my head was the hunger. Right? I don't know why. I'm weird like that. The hunger, yeah. What does the hunger have to say? Could be interesting. Navenka also pops to mind. I know Cole's gonna say Tiny Jen.
That's not a character. That's a hero. Can we?
Oh, is it just characters? No, it says any card. If you could have a card as a co-caster, yeah, that's a card.
Card.
I'd like to have the. Never mind. I was gonna say I would like to have the adventure board as my co-caster.
No, I'm not picking.
I'll take
Tiny
Crowbar
because
I like
wouldn't
this guy
pick
with
Tiny
the
Jen?
head.
Tiny Jane doesn't speak English. He wouldn't be good as a co-caster.
Something tells me you'd understand and be able to translate.
I mean, true. But also I would need to get fire insurance, and I don't have that much money. I am answering this based off of who I think would be a very dope co-caster, and I'm picking either Santa or
okay.
What about the Yeti?
I thought about the Yeti too, but also I think the Yeti and I are friends. I'm not sure he's quite interested in
the Yeti and I are definitely friends
on a podcast.
Yetis, Wookiees were like soulmates or something.
Yep.
We're like almost the same, just one's from a galaxy far away.
Yeah. My other pick is Theseus because he just looks like a friggin' hot badass dude, and the alt art, he also seems like a lot of fun. So
yeah, Theseus is cool.
Dexter?
Doombringer says
I said a crowbar.
Mana Flare. Yeah.
Mana Flare, okay. Crowbar.
Mana Flare is like a freaking lightning bolt or something. I mean, I guess it's flare, right?
It is a card, so. All right.
I don't know how that would speak to you.
I don't either, but we'll have to figure it out, right? Maybe it'll be like Morse code or something. All right, what's next?
Next question. So these last three are all from Loki Knox. But any people from the community you could see on a card, and what would they do?
Well, I'd like to see me on a card.
I mean, Loki's already on a card, right?
Yeah. Well, that's
Loki
one of
is, but
that's one of what's one of the
said
awesome
community.
abilities of having your own game. You can put yourself in it, right? I'd like to see the Wookiee on a card. I don't know what I'd do.
what would you do?
I have no idea. Not even a clue.
I've technically already been on a card, so
How's that? What card do
because,
you want?
Citrus Frog made me.
Oh,
on a card.
Citrus Frog's
Oh.
card. That is true. That is true.
Yeah. Does that count? I don't think that counts. It's not official.
It's not.
Yeah,
an
of course it
official card.
counts. It's on a card. It doesn't say official in this
Like,
question.
If Cole
Yeah.
were a card, well, I think the real answer should come from outside in. Like, you can't give yourself an ability. So if Cole were a card, right? Like, Cole would definitely do something like with plants, right? He would like when he enters play,
Yeah.
give one boost to all plants in both
Or
expeditions.
while
or
it's
something.
in play, all other plants that you play cost one less.
There you go. That's a good one because he loves plants. Yeah, that's a good one for Cole. And then let's see.
I think it would have to be animals though instead of plants.
Animals instead of plants.
Yeah, because we already have Ogun, which
We
is
can have-
really good with the plant boosts.
Well, there could be more than one. That's okay.
But I want more animal support because so far Aron is the only one, and
But
Because
you're
there
not a-
aren't as many good animals.
You're not an animal person.
there are
Like,
more
you're
good
definitely
plants than there are
a
good
plant
animals.
person.
yeah, I hate animals.
No, nobody said you. Nobody said you hate animals, but we just know how much you like plants. That's not a.
I hate all of my rescue animals in my house.
Well,
Ugh, I eat
How many do
so
you have?
much. I eat so many cows.
so random. All right, we got to write something for Dexter now. What is that? I'm trying to get Dexter vibes. Dexter-
I want Dexter to be an Ortis because that's where he started.
Yep,
And
I can agree.
he is an Ortis. What's the word? Kind of like health inspector, but not. We can just call him an Ortis, like RA. And he gets to look at one card in your hand randomly to see what it is.
I can get behind that. I can get
Okay.
behind
From
that.
anywhere.
From anywhere. From
I'll
anywhere.
take it.
What do you mean from anywhere?
His card
From
does
play
that.
and
when it
Yeah.
comes from any. Okay, yeah, okay. I was like, there's only one hand. Everything else is kind of common knowledge.
And the Wookiee is actually just like a DJ or a caster or a singer in Lyra, and
I do love
he
karaoke.
Gives all artists one boost upon play, so from anywhere.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, what do we got next?
Any countries that
Is that it?
play where you would want to judge?
I think this is a weird story.
America?
I think that question's directed just at you. I don't know. I don't know why I got that vibe, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't pointed at myself or Dexter.
Yeah, probably just call there.
Honestly, my philosophy is I will go anywhere as long as they'll have me. I wish the truth of the matter.
Who wouldn't have you,
wasn't-
Cole? who's going to be like, Cole Robbie? Turn him away.
You never know. There's people who don't like me,
Wow.
which is fine. There's people who can't get down with my sense of humor, or I'm not afraid to tell people off if they're being dickwads. So I've made at least 2 people mad in the Discord. So
Nice.
Cole, you're causing chaos, man. I'm going to need you to calm it down.
Yeah.
Bring it down.
So I wish
We liked that here. I thought we were the bad boys of Altered.
We are the I don't know how, again, the self-anointed name that we've given ourselves just is ridiculous.
Yeah, the hard part is I wish the thing wasn't what it is, but it's really, if anyone is willing to pay me and get me out there, I will do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
If for some reason money is no longer an obstacle, then I'll just do whatever I can. I have a philosophy that basically anywhere in the world has something interesting to offer. I don't really dislike places, except for I'll never ever go back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So sorry if you live in Albuquerque, but
that's like me. I'll never go back to Iowa. Never.
I like exploring. I like traveling. Of course, I would love to go to Paris. My ancestry is very French and French Canadian, and it would be dope to go to the Equinox office. So that would be dope. Dexter might actually be judging in Indiana though, so he'll get to judge.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan right now.
Where would you really want to go after Indiana?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't care. If you pay for it, I'm happy anywhere.
But if you could pick a place, where would you pick?
I legitimately could not care less. I don't like traveling in general, and I don't really care about seeing sights or anything.
Oh, but traveling is kind of cool, man.
It wouldn't make any difference to me.
Traveling is kind of cool. The one thing I've learned about traveling is the more things change, the more they stay the same. Right? Like, everybody's got a Target somewhere close to a Walmart. That's next to their version of whatever grocery store they hang out in. Right? But I don't know, okay, so we go to Minnesota every year. I've been to Indiana. I've been to a lot of places, and there's a lot of cool stuff to see no matter where you go. Like Illinois.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of places too. I've been probably on thousands of hours of road trips with my family, up and down, all around. So I've seen sights. Doesn't particularly interest me.
Yeah, but have you ever stayed in an acorn house?
No,
haven't seen one of those.
There you go. You still got something left to live for, man. Don't kill yourself.
That could be fun.
I do have a lore if we think we have time. But
where are we at? We're an hour and a half.
That was the last. Yeah.
I would say that was the last one. What is? All right, I'm going to ask Doombringer's question. So, got a quick question about judging. Not that I'm actually want to, but I'm a little curious about my rules knowledge. So I was wondering how to test to become a judge. Is that test thing still around? Or is that you can't do anything with that anymore?
I think it's still live. I would do the example test that they put out, or quiz. It's more of a quiz. And I am going to make one, and I will share it in Altered Corner just for funsies. I don't know if they are going to share it at wide, but someone in the Dutch community made a pretty extensive judge test that you could do. That one, they have to grade in the current version. So I'm not sure that will be out in the public. But the intention is to make a quiz that will grade itself like the one that Altered already put out. Down the road, they will probably have more structure, and a lot of judge programs have like levels of being a judge. So to get my apprentice certification for Star Wars, I had to pass a test. And then to get level 1, you have to pass another test and also have floor judged an event and get a recommendation from an LGS. So those are some of the similar things that some programs do.
Interesting. But I think that's where I'm going to cut it off for this week. We'll go through... Who are we supposed to do?
You don't want to do the lore?
Yeah, not this week. I still got... So I don't have wife or children, so I have to feed myself. So I still have to like go make dinner because it's not done. Because I'm alone, and that's scary. Not really. I'll be all right. Just leave the light on for me because I'm afraid of the dark.
Made it through all of the questions, and we made pretty good time.
Yeah,
we are at a lengthy episode, so...
And that's okay.
Cool.
But we want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you for coming out, everybody in the live chat. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, which can be found down below. And make sure you go support us over at W Energy. W.GG. Use code DRAWBETTER and get yourself 10% off. One day we'll make Altered Cornered shirts. One day.
Yippee.
One day. And then you can wear Altered Cornered shirts and socks and such. It'd be sweet. I'll get some designs together.
Easy
but
for me to do. I can definitely do.
But that's going to do us for this week. We'll see you guys all next week.
Au revoir.
Practicing his French already.
Chasing me.